Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
The Department of Justice is going after a black gay journalist under a KKK law. Meanwhile, Donald in Davos is single-handedly trying to destroy our economy. Happy Tuesday! Oh, God.
Now it's showtime.
It is the Krellcast. I am Karel. Happy Tuesday, January 20th, although I don't really know if we can say that. First of all, I'm a little tiny bit late. I'm 3 minutes late. Why? Because I'm depressed. And when I am depressed, I bake. And my niece Heather sent some delicious homemade raspberry jam for Christmas, so I needed biscuits. So I made the best, fluffiest tea biscuits with elderflower liqueur. Oh my God, and dried cherries. And I put homemade raspberry jam on top. And I had a hot cocoa. And I sat sipping saying, boy, these days are numbered because Donald Trump is going to destroy us. Now, the only person that I heard of any interest this morning from Davos was Gavin Newsom. And I wish I had the clip to play for you, but American media is not covering it. The BBC did, and I cannot find the clip on their website, where Gavin Newsom, when asked about diplomacy with Donald Trump, said, "Are you kidding? He's a T-Rex. You either fuck him or he eats you." He said that. He also said, "I'm ready for the European Union to grow a spine. I am ready for other world leaders to grow a spine." You know, Gavin is selling knee pads for charity. Knee pads with the names of corporations on them that have bent down to Donald Trump. Brilliant idea, raised over $100,000 so far. He said this morning in Davos, "I should have brought those knee pads here for world leaders. Stop giving him crowns. Stop giving him gold bars. Stop giving in to him. You have a chance to stand up to a dictator. It is now the time." And he was swearing. He was like, Jesus Christ, what the crap is wrong with people? He's like, what's wrong with Europe? So France has already said they're not buying into this board of peace for Gaza. They said the United Nations is the board of peace for Gaza. I agree. That pissed him off, Trump. Last night, this deranged president, who Dick Cheney's doctor, okay? Not the most liberal person. Dick Cheney's doctor, former, I guess, because Cheney is dead, said that they ought to invoke the 25th Amendment. Mary Trump read the letter aloud that he sent to the president of Denmark. It is pure batshit crazy. And now we found out through text messages that he is doing all this about Greenland because he didn't win the Nobel and because Peter Thiel, billionaire, wants Greenland so he can build a billionaire enclave for only billionaires to escape, including Donald Trump, if he's ever indicted, if he is ever impeached and indicted. So now we know why he wants Greenland. A, because he's petty, and B, because his billionaire friends want it to make it a haven for billionaires to escape to. People, I'm trying to be fun and optimistic and joyous and all of that. But I have to tell you, we are in some dark, dark times. And they're getting darker, honey. They are getting darker. And I'm not sure what we can do about it. Because Congress, the most ineffective body in the land, Congress, they're the ones, they're the ones who could be doing something. But they're not. They're not doing a thing. I mean, I don't know what they're doing. I have no idea what Congress is up to. I have no idea. I don't. So, where are we going? I don't know. but it ain't good. It ain't good. In the next segment, we're going to talk about a gay liberal journalist who was out doing his job, who has now been threatened by the Department of Justice with the KKK law, a law meant to keep white supremacists out of gatherings, out of churches and things. And this black gay journalist is being threatened with it. Meanwhile, a rapper has called him a cock-a-doodle-doo sucker. We got to talk about this. We got to. And so we will, right after this. Don't go anywhere. And good morning, or evening, or afternoon, whenever you're listening. Hello.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast, videos, and the blog, including recipes at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Hello to all the chatters and chat regulars like Sibylle in Switzerland and Plexion, Phineas, Sandy, Granny, all of you, Darren Holmquist. All of you regulars that are up in the chat room at youtube.com/reallykarel. Good morning to all of my patrons at patreon.com/reallykarel. You keep the show going. If it weren't for you, I would stop. I said that this morning. You know, yesterday I did a media kit for my song, I Danced Because We Did. I Danced Because We Could. And I'm going to try to show it to you today. I don't know how I'm going to get that file over here to this computer. I really don't. I was just trying that during the break, but I'll continue to try because I want you to see it. I'm very proud of it. And I said to myself, you know what? How do I say this? If I could replace the the $1,040 a month that I get from the Patreon, from my patrons. If I could replace that by performing live and doing music, I would. It has now come to my attention that I really do not like coming out here every day and having to talk about these absurdities because I am back on the we need to get out of the country. I'm back to that. But nowhere is going to escape Trump. So where do you go? The EU is about to launch a trade bazooka against the United States. This is horrible. This will cost us a ton of money. The Dow is crumbling. All because this man wants to take over some sovereign island that we have no business trying to seize. Meanwhile, Putin has escalated what is going on in Ukraine. No one's looking at Ukraine anymore. Meanwhile, Trump and Netanyahu are still at war with Gazans, and now they're trying to exploit the Gazan tragedy for $60 billion that is never going to go to Gaza. It's like the homeless stuff here in Las Vegas, okay? We say we're collecting money for the homeless, but it never makes it to the homeless. It gets stuck up in administration. Because otherwise, I'm telling you, last year, Las Vegas spent over $100 million on homeless services. Why are they homeless? Because the money is not getting to them. So this $60 billion that he wants to collect to be on this board of peace for Gaza will never, ever get to the Gazans. Okay? And now he wants Greenland so Peter Thiel can have it as some billionaire retreat. It has nothing to do with Russia or national security. He's too busy sucking Putin's dick for Putin to attack us. There are no Russians in Greenland. There are no Russian troops circling Greenland. It's all a big, fat, demented lie. So I told you that I am afraid as a liberal podcaster. And I said, when they start coming for the bigger ones, it's really going to affect my show. Because once they come for the big ones, they'll come for the small ones until there's nobody left. My podcast consistently ranks in the top 200. Okay? So over the weekend, protesters went into a church in Minneapolis because they heard one of the pastors was an ICE agent. And they wanted that pastor to reconcile how he can work for ICE and be a pastor. Because no man or woman of God could possibly work for ICE. It's just not possible. And so Don Lemon was in the city covering things, which I said he was an idiot. I did. I said, in this administration, you don't go do this because they're going to target you. Well, so he saw this flyer for this protest and thought, okay, I'll go cover it. So they're out front of the church and he's talking to people and stuff. And then they enter the church, the protesters. So Don Lemon follows them into the church to interview the pastor and see what he thinks of the protesters coming into the church. Well, the right spun this as he was leading the protesters and he led them into the church. He didn't, and he wasn't, but that's how they spun it. Then Nicki Minaj, the no-talent hack whore, and I'm sorry if that offends you, but that's what she is, who wants a pardon for her pedophile brother and husband, alleged. So she went all MAGA to try to get a pardon from Donald Trump, who just pardoned the son of a congressperson who was in jail for meth. So he has no problem pardoning criminals, drug dealers, those who beat up January 6th protests and cops and all of that. Anyway, so Don Lemon goes in and does his reporting. Nicki Minaj posts, lock him up, lock this cocksucker up. That's what she said, excuse the terminology. And so she's homophobic, this bitch who made a fortune off the gay community. Fuck her. And Don Lemon said the same thing. He said, fuck Nicki Minaj. I agree. Fuck Nicki Minaj. I wouldn't fuck Nicki Minaj with Donald Trump's dick. But whatever. So she posts that. Then the DOJ sends Don Lemon a letter saying he is now under investigation under the KKK Act, which was to prevent white supremacists from interrupting black church services. The black gay liberal is now under, investigation from the DOJ because he entered a church with protesters to cover the event. This is where we are. This is where we are. And it's fucking sad. It's sad. Every day we slip further and further into an authoritarian regime. And where the mother frickin' hack is Congress? Where are they? They could stop the Greenland bid tomorrow. Where are they? They could impeach him. The man is demented. He is not mentally fit to be president of the United States. He is demented. Doctors are saying it. His relatives are saying it. World leaders, as Gavin Newsom said, stop talking about this man behind his back and start acting like you know the threat that he is to his face. Stop giving him crown. Someone gave him a crown. Stop giving him crown. Stop giving him gold bars. Stop rewarding this man and start standing up to him. They're not. They better. He won't stop at Greenland. Last night, Donald Trump, on his official Truth Social account, posted an image of all of them sitting around like in the war room with a map of the world with the United States, Canada, and Greenland and Venezuela all covered in stars and stripes. The man fully intends to take over Canada and Greenland, and he already has Venezuela. That's called imperialism. It's called colonialism. It's what Hitler did, Stalin, Mussolini. I could go down the list. Donald Trump is not new. But we're supposed to have a Congress and a Supreme Court to stop him. And we don't. And so barring them stopping him, Our homes are about to be worth nothing. As in like nothing. Like $10,000. Food is about to quadruple in prices. If the EU cuts off trade and calls in their debt with the United States, that's it. Our economy's done. It's over. Wall Street knows. Wall Street is already crashing. Down 700 points this morning. And who is stopping him? Nobody. Nobody. It is, Congress would not have put up with this from any other president. Biden, Bush, Obama, Reagan. Congress would not have put up with this from any other president. Why? And where the actual fuck are the Democrats? They keep fundraising, but on what? Where are they? Do we need to play that game, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, to find out where the Democrats are? Gavin's over in Davos talking like someone that should be talking. Not one Democratic congressperson is talking like Gavin Newsom. Not one. Okay, not one. So where are they? Where are they? What are they doing? I don't know. I honestly do not know. And, what are we going to do? I don't know. My house will not sell right away. There are 12 units for sale here, and most have been for sale for over 4 months. So if I wanted to sell my house, I could put it up in the next month, and it wouldn't sell for months and months and months and months. So the notion of fleeing quickly, short of doing a GoFundMe campaign or actually getting a radio or television job in another country, I don't know what I'm going to do. I need $100,000. If any of you have $100,000 you'd like to give me to relocate the show to another country, but short of that, I don't have the money to flee. I have $100,000 in credit. I've had 3 people tell me, do cash advances on all the cards, max them out, put my house in a trust, an irrevocable trust, which is bankruptcy proof, charge up $100,000 on the credit cards, file bankruptcy and leave. Because bankruptcies don't follow you to another country. It's getting close to where I've actually considered that. I have. I have $133,000 available in different kinds of credit. And I have thought to myself, max it all out, get out of the country, file bankruptcy. I've truly thought about it. I have. I mean, if I left the country, I'd have no assets for them to attach. The house would be in a medical irrevocable trust. They can't touch that. And I don't have anything else. I don't have stocks, bonds, bank accounts, $100,000 cars. So literally, I would get the bankruptcy. So I would screw all the credit card companies and be out of the country. I actually thought about it. I thought about, charging a year's rent, which would be $35,000, charging a year's rent in some other country on a credit card, and then charging the move on other credit cards. And then once I get there, file bankruptcy. Because I can't, what bothers me the most? It's not Trump or his cabinet. It's that in a recent poll out today, 49% of Republicans think he's doing a great job. These are Senate Republicans. Almost half of the Senate Republicans think he's doing a wonderful job. And then you say, well, that's only half. Another 10% of Senate Republicans don't think he's going far enough. So that's 59% of Senate Republicans that think he's either doing a great job or should do more. When you poll the people, it's the same thing. The same numbers. 60% of registered Republicans in this country think he's doing a great job. 20% think he should be doing more on immigration, that ICE isn't going far enough. They are literally dragging senior citizens out, American senior citizens, out of their home into the freezing fucking snow. So it's not Trump or his cabinet, it's the people of America. Half of America is now the enemy, basically. And I don't like to think of them that way. I really don't. But they are. How anyone could look at what he's doing and approve? They're not my friend. They're not my ally. And they're not just politically misguided. Oh, well, MAGA and Republicans, they're just politically... No, they're Nazis. They follow a Nazi. They use Nazi terminology. They use Nazi imagery. When are we going to just say it's okay to call them Nazis? They don't mind. Obviously. Oh, what a time. What a time. It's something. I need another biscuit. That elderflower liqueur is making me happy. And I put hazelnut liqueur in my hot cocoa.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Someone said you could lease your condo and pay for rent. No. My complex does not allow rentals or leases. When I bought it, they were very clear. You cannot rent it, you cannot lease it. So I can't. And no Airbnb. It's owner occupied or get out. I really did have a ball yesterday doing my video press kit. I did. I had a great time. And it reminded me that being creative and being visually creative, and music and all of that, television, that's my heart. This, what we're doing now, is something I'm really good at. And I've been doing it for a long time. But I'm reaching a point in my life where I don't want to be the interviewer, I want to be the interviewed. I know that sounds odd, but I'm a great interviewer. I am. But I'm also a great interview. And so I'd like to be having more conversations, with people. But it takes a producer, it takes money, it takes time, it takes things I don't have. I would have loved to have Don Lemon on today to talk about his troubles. Because on his podcast, he said that he's taking it seriously, but he's not going to let them steal his joy. He said, look, I happen to have means. He's a multimillionaire. And he said, I can fight this. And when we're done, they're going to look stupid. I followed the Constitution. I had a First Amendment right as media and as an American. And there's nothing they can do about it. I was not leading the protest. I was not inciting anything. I was just reporting. And he said, I have it all on video. So, I wouldn't mind. But see, I look at Don Lemon and I don't want to be him. I don't want to be at the church going in with the protesters and interviewing the pastor. I have no desire to do that anymore. Because it's futile. It's futile to do it in this country. I would rather do a travel segment on traveling to Ireland. I would much rather do a travel segment. Because it's futile. No one's going to save Don Lemon. Only the rich can oppose Donald Trump. Kathy Griffith could do it. She's got the money. Don Lemon can do it. He's got the money. If you or I do it, we have to be afraid. I was told this morning by a friend of mine who is a naturalized citizen that every morning before he leaves his house, he looks outside now to see who's out there. Can you imagine living in Las Vegas, Nevada, and having to look outside your house every day because you're afraid ICE might be out there? And if not for him, for a neighbor or doing a street closure, this is what Americans are dealing with now. Papers, please. We have become Nazi Germany. There is no two ways around that. They're telling you, Kristi Noem said, have proof of citizenship. That's papers. Have your papers. Papers, please. And resistance right now is futile because Congress is not on our side. Because congressional leaders, where was the congressional lead? Where are the Congress people from Minneapolis and Minnesota? Where are they? Why aren't they out there with the protesters? Why aren't they on the front lines? What are they doing that's so fucking important they can't be out there with their constituents fighting an illegal paramilitary force? Do you know ICE hasn't been around forever? Right? Everyone acts like ICE is just something we have to deal with. No. ICE is a 21st century invention. In the 1990s, there was no ICE. 1980s, no ICE. 1970s, no ICE. It didn't start until like 2003 or 2008, somewhere right around there. That's when ICE started. It's not like it can't be defunded and abolished. We got by without it before. Congress could end ICE tomorrow. They could defund it and dismantle it. Why don't they? Why don't they? Has Chuck Schumer called for the defunding and dismantling of ICE? No. Has AOC? Nope, haven't heard her. Has any Democratic congressperson called for the dismantling and legal defunding of ICE? An organization that's not even 25 years old. Anybody? Have you heard anybody talk about that? They act like it's a given. It's a part of our government. It's always been here. We can't fight it. No, it hasn't always been here. Congress could get rid of it. They have the purse strings. They could defund it and dismantle it. They created it. It was created by Congress. It could be swatted down by Congress. But they're not. The biggest failure of 2025 and 2026 has been Congress. The biggest failure. And the fact that Republicans that are in Congress are more loyal to a man than the country. That Republican senators and congresspeople do not care about the American people. They care about their corporate overlords, Donald Trump, and the moneyed interest that they serve, and promoting a fake Christian white agenda. That is what is happening. Because they know diversity was winning. They know that Americans want intellectual, learned, smart Americans want diversity, equity, inclusion, because they know that the face of America is no longer white. And they can't take it. They can't take that they are becoming the minority. And this is their last stand. This is, we're going to destroy, if we can't be the majority, then we will wipe it all out. That's what they're doing. They're wiping out our country because they can't be the majority anymore. That's what's happening. And what is Congress doing? Letting it happen. Does it make you wonder if Democrats aren't as bad as Republicans when it comes to white supremacy? They must be. Why aren't they defunding ICE? One reason I can think of. They like it.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service. You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy.
Now it's your time.
You know what? I want to change the mood. Can I change the mood? Am I allowed on my show to actually change the mood? Because I want to change the mood. And, you know, I don't want to keep talking about this because I'm too angry. I'm too depressed. And I don't see a solution. You know, Democratic governors have not utilized their National Guard to get ICE out of their state. The cities haven't utilized the police, you know, that sort of stuff, to get ICE out of their cities. Everybody is acting like we all just have to be victims. I'm not a victim. Now, look, as I said the other day, I am all for immigration and custom enforcement. I certainly am. I do not believe our borders should be porous and any kind of anybody should just come right across. I don't believe that. But this is not the way. I mean, I basically have the same goal as Kristi Noem in some ways. I don't want immigrants that have criminal past, felonies, drug convictions, rape, child trafficking, all of that. Not misdemeanor convictions. Felony convictions. Or felony crimes that they've committed here in this country. If you're an immigrant and you commit a felony, go home. So, I'm not far away from Kristi Noem on that. The problem is the way that she thinks we should handle the problem. She's wrong. You know, so what do? So I, myself, and yes, immigration is really a civil matter. It's not a criminal matter. It's a civil matter. It's not something for the criminal courts. It's for the civil courts. You know, citizenship and all that. You don't go, when you apply for citizenship and you go before a judge, it's not a criminal judge you go, but it's a civil judge. So, today, my spirit is a little down because of all of this. And because, you know, I can't leave. I can't leave. So, what are we supposed to do? I don't know. We can talk about it here and on other shows and, you know, talk about other topics, certainly. I tried to look for a non-Trump, non-Davos, I tried to look for other topics in the news of interest this morning, things that are happening around the world but like almost every headline from around the world, every newspaper, the Times of London, the Irish Times, you know, almost every newspaper is covering Trump, Greenland, Davos. Every country, he's infested every country and their news. Everyone. He is like this cancer spreading out. And I just don't know what to do about that today. Gotta laugh. So why don't we change the mood of the show? I mean, just completely change it. Just stop talking about all this and, you know, change the mood. I have 2 videos that I can show you. One is the video press kit for the video that comes out this Friday for my song, I Dance Because. The other is making dog biscuits yourself. How to make dog treats yourself. So we could do both of those things instead of, you know, sitting here complaining about Donald Trump. We could learn about how and why I made my song. And we could learn how to make low-calorie pet treats. We could do that. Will you all flee? Will you stop watching? Will you stop listening if I do those 2 things? It's more fun than this. You know what? Let's do it. Let's start with the dog biscuits. or with the EPK? Let's start with that. But it's 9 minutes long. Let's see. Oh, someone's got an orchid that's about to bloom. How fabulous is that? When we come back, we're going to do 2 videos. So don't go anywhere. We're going to have some fun.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
I danced because we did. I danced because we could. I danced to show the world. I danced to show the good. I danced to feel you near. I danced to hold you dear. I danced to be the light. I danced to on the nights. On days of sadness.
I Dance Because is a really personal song rooted in the past with a video that is very much in the present and future. I wrote this song from the heart. Really funny, I was exercising to Apple Fitness Plus, and I was doing their dance routine with LaShawn and John and Ben, and they were doing it to the oldies. And every time that happens and they do it to the 80s or 90s songs, I cry. And I mean, for years now, that's happened. And one day I stopped and examined, why are you crying? Is it the endorphins or what? And I realized it's because when I hear that music and I'm dancing, it makes me think about all of the friends I've lost to AIDS, or to just age, or drugs, or accidents, or whatever it might be, and how I used to have so much fun dancing with them, and now they're gone. And so when I go to the dance floor, I literally go there with a lot of ghosts. And their spirit and joy fills me, and just takes me someplace else to be with them again. And I see them, and I feel them, and I just have so much fun.
It's sadness wins. On nights it seemed too cold. I know just what to do. When it's you I wanna hold.
When it got time to think about the video, I thought, I want this to be like a dream sequence set back in the 80s in gay bars, where so many wonderful friends and lovers came from, and where so many relationships were forged and formed, and some ended. And I thought, how do I do that? How do I go back to the 80s? We didn't have, cell phone cameras back then, and we didn't bring huge, Betamaxes with us. And I thought, AI. AI is the way to recreate your 80s dance clubs and dancing with friends now gone. And, I had a little bit of a moral dilemma. For instance, I really wanted Andrew, my late husband, Andrew Howard, to be in the video, but not in the present. I think it's creepy when you bring people that have passed into the present. And what I mean is doing new things and speaking and all of that. See, Andrew and I danced in the 80s and 90s in the bars. I'm not creating something that didn't happen. It happened. And he's not speaking. So he would have demanded more pay, even his ghost. And so I called his niece and nephew and said, is this creepy? And his niece actually said, no, Uncle Charles, that's what AI should be used for. You're recreating something that you actually did some 40 years ago now, or 30, and you're not bringing him into the present and doing like a new talk show with him or something. He's not sitting here doing the promo for the video with me. It's something that we did. And I use it sparingly in the video, and everyone but Andrew is sort of a amalgamation of people. My friend Lorenzo is in there, but he's kind of Lorenzo, he's kind of Gary. I have a friend Steven that's in there, but he's kind of Steven and kind of Daniel and kind of... So they're sort of mixtures of people. They're not exact representations, but they're mixtures of people that I danced with back in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s, people who aren't really, here anymore. And I think that's such a great way to utilize this technology.
We may now be apart, but you dance in my heart, and all the joy you bring still leads my heart to sing, yes.
I'm not afraid of AI. A lot of artists around me are. But just like desktop publishing was to print and photography and Photoshop, either you learn how to use it and use it in your craft, or you get left behind. With AI and the help of Eli Lev, I got to do this video for under $1,000. I filmed the live portions here in Las Vegas, sent it to Israel for Eli Lev to do the AI, and then he sent it to Greece to be the green screen taken out and everything, and then they sent it back to me. The same with the song. I wrote the lyrics, I got a top line idea from Suno, I sent that to Leo Frappier, who I love and adore. I adore him. I'm so happy to work with him. He's worked with so many great people, and now we've worked together so much. I love that he's on my team. And so Leo then created a whole track around just a little top line, and then sent me the track. I recorded the vocals, had to agonize whether to do it in my high or my low, and then sent that back to him. And then we need Jeannie Tracy chat. Because Jeannie Tracy is one of the best background and lead singers there is. Disco diva in her own right. Many, many singles. Also sang background with Sylvester, my idol, and so many others. And the fact that she graces my records with her presence is just... And so Jeannie went in and totally created these backgrounds. I had no background ideas. And Jeannie just created them and sang them and double, triple, quadruple. Just incredible. Then Leo did a fabulous mix. He sent that mix off to me. I sent it to Matt Consola at Swishcraft Records, Swishcraft Music, a great LGBTQ-based label in Seattle. I'm sorry, Portland. Portland, don't kill me. In Portland, and he released it. And 12 remixes. Oh my God. Leo's remixes. Then we have Dirty Disco. Oh my God, he's so hot, Dirty Disco, and he's hot. He's so hot, and it's just incredible to have him doing remixes. Matt Moss, also hot and also hot. Matt Moss, who's remixed now 3 or 4 of my records, and God, is he incredible. Robbie Kerrigan. Oh, Rafael Mesa. I can't believe that DJ Rafael M did remixes of this and my last song. He used to sell me records at Prime Cuts on Santa Monica Boulevard back in the day. So now he's selling my records now, or helping me sell my records now. So it's incredible. 12 remixes, and then this video. A video that uses AI as it is now. Not super AI. We didn't pay $500 a minute. The AI that you and I have access to. And in 5 years, we'll look at it and go, God, that was primitive. And I think so long as we use it respectfully, I don't want to bring back a loved one. I know in Japan and China, they have these devices that are bringing back their loved ones, talking to them and asking them. I don't, no. No. But bringing back through AI situations that actually happen with people that they happened with, as a tribute to those people and their lives and their souls, and then also to gay bars. Gay bars are in danger. They're disappearing. And I got to tell you, I love gay bars. And I love dancing in them. I love going to them. They're just fabulous. And then as an homage to dance itself, because I don't care what age you are, you're not too old to make dance music, and you're not too old to dance. So the song is very, very personal to me. And the video now is very touching to me. I cried the first time. I cry all the time. But I cried the first time I saw it. Because it does capture the essence of my friends. It's not exact duplicates, but it just captures who they were and the fun that we had. And yeah, some of it looks like a video game and some's a little sped up. I did that on purpose. I wanted it to look like AI. I didn't want it to look uber realistic, because that would be creepy to me. But I wanted it to look like it looks. So I hope y'all like the single I Dance Because. I hope you like the video I Dance Because. It means a lot to me. And we all have loved ones that have passed and that we want to dance with. I used to dance with my mom every night at the nursing home to put her to bed. She'd wait for me, no matter where I was in the world, to come and put her to bed and do a little dance with her, and then put her feet up on the bed and put her back in bed. We all have somebody, whether it's someone that's passed from AIDS or some other thing, we all have people that we danced with that we still dance with. We still bring their heart and their soul with us to the dance floor. And that's why we dance. We dance because we can. We dance because we could. We dance to show the world. We dance to show the good. So dance and show it.
I danced because we did. I danced because we could. I danced to show the world. I danced to show the good. I danced to feel you near. I danced to hold you dear. I danced to be the light. I danced to all our nights.
Well, that's how I spent my day yesterday. And you know what? Even that video brings up a lot of questions. Like these devices in Japan and China now, where you can digitize your loved one, including their voice, and then talk to them. It's like a crystal ball thing. And there's a hologram of them inside of it. And you can talk to them and ask them questions. And like, should I date this guy or whatever? And in your dead loved one's voice, they talk to you. I would not do that. Would any of you do that? I would not do that. That just seems so creepy. But in 30 years, it'll be commonplace. But I just would not do it. No, 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 a million times no. Would y'all? Would you all reanimate a loved one through AI to actually talk to them again? Have them talk back to you in real time? They're doing it right now in Japan and China. I just don't think I would do that. I don't. But yes, that's my video press kit for I Dance Because and for the video. I hope y'all like it. We have time for the cooking video, but I would have to blow out the brakes and things. But that cleansed me. I don't feel as angry as I was at the beginning of the show. I just get so passionate, you guys, because you know what? We have so much more to think about. We have so many bigger problems than Donald Trump. You know, we have a planet that is turning on us. And this diet stuff, Vegas opening a red meat place and, you know, RFK saying eat more meat and dairy. We have to really talk about our diet and how it needs to be plant-based. And, you know, we have just so much bigger stuff. Plus, I don't know about you, but I want to have some fun. I want to travel some more, see the world, and not be hated. You know, if we go to another country right now as an American, I'm not sure we're going to be welcomed. We'll have to wear shirts. I didn't vote for him. And so, you know, I would like to go to Ireland. They've invited me in February, me and Ember. I just don't know if I have it in me to go by myself. I would need a camera person. That's the other thing. I would need someone to go with me to videotape, and I don't have a camera person that could take a week off of their job without being paid thousands of dollars. They'll pay us for the trip. In other words, they'll pay for airfare and hotel and all of that, but they won't cover my production expenses. So every time I go to Ireland with the crew, I usually raise $5,000 to $7,000 back in the day through advertisers. They would sponsor the trip, and then they would get ads throughout the trip. I don't have any, you know, Buena Vista Cafe that I can call up and say you want to give me a couple grand for the trip to Ireland. So I don't have a videographer that could just go in exchange for the trip. But I would like to. I'd love to go. There was talk of bringing me over in February for Valentine's Day for the outing, a gay lesbian matchmaking festival, and having me stay through St. Patrick's Day, a month. I'd love a month in Ireland. Ember would love a month in Ireland. But it's a matter of raising, you know, $5,000 to $7,000 to go. And that's with them paying all of the other expenses. But I would like to do that again, concentrate on that. You know, I'm just worried. Did you hear now that the State Department, when they're talking about visas, are going to start asking about diabetes and obesity? Because Donald Trump said that he doesn't want these people coming in and taking up our medical resources. So when granting visas, they can now consider diabetes, obesity. In other words, Trump can't come home from Davos because, you know, he's in terrible health. But we're going to start turning away fat people from visas? Really? I mean, they said that this morning. When granting visas, they now want to consider diabetes and obesity because those people are going to take medical resources. I don't know how. Maybe insulin? If you're on a visa, I think your insurance covers your insulin. I don't know. I've never gone to another country and needed to buy insulin. So, you know. So I would like to do other things. I know you guys want to do more. How many of you are actually doing stuff still? You know, someone please tell me, how many of you are actually going to movies, going shopping at malls or just, stores? How many of you are traveling or planning a trip or, maybe going to take off in the spring for a trip? How many of you are doing this? Because it seems to me everyone's just hunkered down, like staying home, conserving money, not wanting to be out in the world. Is it just me? Are y'all out in the world every day having a grand old time? When's the last time you went to a concert, to a play, to a show of some kind? Are you doing these things and it's just me that's not? I mean, really, Yeah, I haven't been to a play or a musical in years. I really haven't. I don't know why. I've been invited. Just haven't gone. For instance, Saturday is the Grammy nominee party in Los Angeles. I am RSVP'd. It's at a swank place called the Asher. It's from 11 to 3. They're serving a brunch. I don't know if they'll have any vegan options. Ember can go, of course. All I have to do is drive to LA. But the fact that a rental car will be $200 plus, hotel for 2 nights, $300, $350. So $700 to go to this Grammy nominee party. Now, do I want to go? Yes, I want to go. I do. Will I go in today's economy? Plus the superflu is everywhere and, So when everything now is filtered through the how much is it going to cost button. And like I said, I have a shit ton of credit. I could just charge it. Well, I wouldn't even feel the charge. But, how many of you are now filtering everything through, well, how much does it cost? Because even if you have the resources, you kind of want to save them. Because we don't know what's coming with Trump and the stock market and the economy and him over there threatening people. And, we don't know what's happening. And so because we don't know, most of us are hesitant to spend the big bucks. Big purchases are down. They're down. I agree with Rachel Capper. It's like radio static in the background all the time, like a humming noise because of our political stress. I agree. No matter what we do now, it's all filtered through this background noise of Trump and MAGA and the economy and everything like hanging in the balance every day. There's no stability. Our government's unstable. The stock market's unstable. Our cities are unstable because of ICE and other things. There's just no, it's like we're on I don't want to say a teeter-totter, but a board that's been placed on a barrel. And as long as you stand in the middle of the board with your feet, equidistant apart, you're fine. But if you go over to one side or the other, the barrel's going to move, the board's going to move, and your footing gets a little unsure. So everyone's trying to stay as centered and grounded on that board, on top of that barrel, as they can. That's a great analogy, because that's really where we are. We all just want to stay upright, stay level, stay looking forward. We don't want to be whoa. And nowadays, because of everything going on, that's the world. The world is like tossing shit at you constantly. So, for me, it's limiting the things I do. And I mean it. I would love to go to this party this weekend and record things with Grammy nominees and let you see it on Monday. But $700? All told, food and that's just for 2 nights. Friday night, Saturday night. Come home Sunday. Hotels in LA are $200 a night. That's $400 for a hotel. $300 easy for the car and gas, not counting food. It's like an $800-900 trip. And I want to make it. I want to go do it. But at that price, it's like, despite Greenland, Francis Macron and NATO had to make nice with Trump. Can you believe that? To make nice with Trump. I so agree with Gavin Newsom. Stop making nice with this bastard. Just stop. But that's the headline. They're trying to make nice with Donald Trump. Stop. Treat him like the asshole he is. If you're coming to Vegas, want to see Penn and Teller, you can't. Penn broke his ankle, and so he's off for 2 months. Trump calls route and sets a Greenland summit, leaks Macron text and taunts Canada. Trump heckles Europe before heading to Davos. You know, it's been a year, to January 20th. Today is when he was inaugurated. Y'all know that, right? Today was the day. So yeah. Supreme Court to hear case testing limits of Hawaii gun law, just because they don't want phantom guns over there. Quad bike hero hailed for carrying people to and from scene of Spain train crash. That's so sad, the crash in Spain of the 2 high-speed rails. It's so infrequent that it happens. It's very safe, high-speed rail, but this time there was a wreck and people died, and it's just very, very sad. Very sad. Buffalo, New York, where one of my listeners lives, has been named the number 2 real estate market in the country. You know, okay. Canada's Mark Carney calls on world to adapt to rupture caused by the great powers. I mean, he means Donald Trump. Let's see. Prime Video, Heated Rivalry replacement sequel. Who cares? There is no sequel to Heated Rivalry. It's a great show. Everyone should watch it. Did y'all see that Beckham's son, David Beckham's son, is like on a rampage against his family and doesn't want to reconcile with them and everything? I am so sick of rich fucking kids. I am so sick of them. This kid was raised in the lap of luxury. Nothing but privilege. His whole fucking life. And now he's out on his own saying, my parents are horrible and I don't want anything to do with them. I bet you still take their checks. I am so tired. It was all over the BBC this morning because next to the royals, the Beckhams are the most famous couple. And their son is like, they're horrible people. Victoria's a terrible mom. David's a terrible dad. And they're oppressive and they're this and they're that. You certainly had no problem spending their money growing up, did you? Rich kids. Rich kid problems. Ugh, I could puke. I really could. There's a new show on HBO Max, The Night of Seven Kingdoms. I could care less. I was not a Game of Thrones fanatic. What else? Oh, USA. Amnesty International has said authoritarian practices are eroding human rights. You think? You think? Authoritarian practices eroding human rights in the United States, according to Amnesty International. I can't believe you watched Marty Supreme and thought it was a great movie, Phineas. I thought it was the stupidest movie known to mankind. Did not get the point. Didn't think he was fabulous. I didn't like it. I am Karel, be who you want to be, so don't hurt anybody. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll cook dog biscuits tomorrow. How about that? Yeah. I don't know. Why doesn't the ICC arrest Trump when he's at Davos? That'd be wonderful. That'd be so fabulous.
Daily to the
Handcuffs.
Cast on your favorite
Pretty
streaming
jewelry.
service.
Silver. Matching.
You're listening to the Karel Cast. Driving you home or driving you crazy. It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.
Showtime is here.